What I think is excellent about it is you can assign different tasks to various students where they need to learn and develop those skills.
When I don't know how to spell something, I can use voice typing, and I just say the word that I want to say to the computer, and then it puts it on the computer instead of having to tell my teacher, how do you spell this, how do you spell that.
We've had kids that have refused to write for 2 years who now, for two reasons, are writing. One is that everybody has a device and they don't look different, and the other is that the voice typing has come to a point where it's very usable.
It's granted a lot of them an opportunity for greater independence in the classroom while they're working on different projects. Reading levels, for example, students are able to access things that perhaps might be beyond them with some of the technologies that they're using with the Read and Write for Google.
A student who recently moved from Lebanon was able to join the class with ease. We had just started a novel study, and I was able to translate the novel on a Google Doc into both French and Arabic with her until she felt more comfortable with her English. She was able to complete all of the questions and readings as she could translate these as well.
The feedback with Google Forms, with Flubaroo Auto Grade is fantastic because the students are able to do the quiz, go and check their mark with Gmail, and instantly be able to see what they got, and if they don't understand at that moment, they're able to raise their hand and ask instead of having to wait for me to grade the papers and give them back.
I think it's easier to be notified because we're always checking our phones and our devices, so it's a lot easier to know what we have to do for work.
I've been involved in a lot of extracurricular activities, and sometimes it's not the easiest when you forget your homework at school and you're thinking about a lot of other stuff, so it's so much easier just to go online and have the access to homework.
Having switched over to Google Classroom allowed the students then the opportunity to, while they were away, to refer back to Google Classroom and keep up with the rest of the class. There was also the funny story of one time the students were stuck at the airport, and while we were in the middle of a lesson, they requested a Skype call with us, and so they had a whole hour at the airport and were able to keep up with the lesson on Skype while I was teaching and referring back and forth to Google Classroom.
When it comes to technology and project-based learning, it's amazing how having Chromebooks has really changed the way students are working. Students are so engaged in projects that they're going home and working on their projects for homework, and makes them more accountable. The nice thing about using the Google Classroom is that as teachers you can monitor students' progress, give them feedback. Students are giving each other feedback. They're learning how to give constructive feedback, and I've seen a difference in their ownership. They're being more accountable of their learning because they're not just waiting for the teacher to give them a mark at the end. They know that they're going to get feedback from the teacher and from their classmates throughout the learning process.
She gives us comments on our Google Classroom where she would go on our work and she would read it over and stuff, and she would write a comment of something that we were doing good on or something that we need to fix.
We use our Chromebooks for our writing, and we have this thing called KidBlog. We do our 100-word challenge on, and then we send it out there.
I can't imagine going back to computer lab once a week or booking the cart for a couple afternoons and trying to do what we do.